cinnamon,
sugar,
butter. Find out which celebrity makes the best
cinnamon rolls.
That's right, guys. I'm gonna test out 3 celebrity cinnamon roll recipes.
Delicious.
And Chris is gonna try them in a blind taste test and decide which is the best. Now cover your ears, because you can't know this next part. That's your eyes.
What?
Our 3 celebrities are Christina Tosi, Chrissy Teigen, and Snoop Dogg. All right, I'm gonna go make these.
Yeah.
Chris has gotta go work.
Yeah.
Wait, let's have a secret handshake.
Roll, cinnamon roll.
Butt touch.
Roll, cinnamon. We have to look dead in our...
Roll,
dead eyes.
First up, we've got Christina Tosi. She has you combine warm milk, a little bit of water, and active dry yeast in a small bowl. You'll whisk that together and let it stand for about 5 minutes or until it becomes foamy. Then in a standing mixer, you combine flour, sugar, and salt. Then you'll attach a dough hook to mix the dry ingredients on a low speed. Add 1 egg and an egg yolk, melted butter, and what she calls the yeast concoction. You'll let this mix for about 6 minutes until it becomes a large sticky dough. Transfer that to a workspace and shape it into a ball. Then you'll grease a medium-sized bowl and put the dough inside it. Make sure you put the dough seam side down. Cover it with a towel and let it sit for 1 hour or until it doubles in size. While the dough rises, you'll make the cinnamon sugar filling. Mix together brown sugar, butter, salt, and cinnamon. Combine that in a small bowl until it's all incorporated together. Next, you're gonna punch the proved dough down, which was my favorite part of this recipe and a lot of fun. Transfer it to a well-floured surface. Then you're gonna use a rolling pin, or she even suggests a wine bottle, to roll the dough out into a 16-inch square. Once you've made your almost perfect square, you're gonna take your cinnamon sugar filling and spread that all over the dough. Roll that dough up into a big, tight tube. Cut that into 12 even pieces. I tried my best to make it even. Place these in an 8x8-inch Pyrex deep dish, leaving 1 inch between them. I wasn't exactly sure how to do that, so I just stacked them on top of each other. Let these guys rise until they double in size, about 1 to 2 hours. Then you'll bake these guys at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. In a standing mixer, you'll combine butter and cream cheese. With a paddle attachment, you'll mix that on high for about a minute. Then reduce the speed to low and add the confectioner sugar, vanilla, and salt. Whip that at a high speed until it's smooth and fluffy. For fun, you can transfer your frosting to a piping bag, then pipe it on top of the buns in a lattice pattern. And there you have it, Christina Tosi's cinnamon roll.
That looks really good.
I like the look of this one a lot. I'll let you try. I'm gonna have a little bit too.
Wow, that was really good. The filling is nice and cinnamon sugary. It's got both of those flavors nicely balanced. It's gooey on the inside, but the dough is also still flaky. This is a really good cinnamon roll.
That was number 1. I'm gonna go make number 2. And, oh my God.
You realize what that sounded like, right?
I'm gonna make it number 2,
Yeah.
like a poo.
I'm just saving you from
All right,
people making poop jokes.
Next up, we've got Chrissy Teigen serving us a twist on the classic cinnamon roll. She calls these cardamom coffee buns, but they use the same method as the cinnamon roll. In a small pot, you'll combine milk, water, and butter. Heat that mixture up until the butter has melted and it's reached 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or is warm to the touch. Add this to the dry ingredients, along with the egg, and then mix that until a dough forms. Transfer it to a lightly floured surface where you're gonna knead it for about 4 minutes until it becomes a smooth ball. Then take a medium-sized greased bowl and add the dough to it and cover loosely with plastic wrap. And you only have to let this dough sit for 10 minutes. While the dough rests, you're gonna make the filling. You'll combine brown sugar and instead of cinnamon, ground cardamom, and add a little butter. You'll mix this for about 3 to 4 minutes until it's creamy. Then on a lightly floured surface, you're gonna roll out your dough into a 9x18-inch rectangle. Because we hadn't let it rest that long, I was surprised how easy it was to roll out Chrissy's dough. Once you've got your rectangle done, you'll take your cardamom filling and spread that evenly all over the dough. Starting from one of the shorter sides, you're gonna roll up your dough into a tight tube. Cut it into 16 even slices, and then transfer it to a buttered 9-inch round. I found it a little tight, but they managed to all fit. Cover that with plastic wrap and let sit for about an hour or until they've doubled in size. When the buns are ready, you'll pour heavy cream over the top and bake that at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. It actually took me closer to 25 minutes, but everyone's oven is different. While the buns are in the oven, we're gonna make our glaze. Combine confectioner sugar, vanilla, and coffee. Whisk that together until it's smooth. Take the buns out of the oven, and while they're still warm, cover it with a coffee glaze. Chrissy suggests, for a pretty presentation, flip the buns over and serve them upside down. And there you have it, Chrissy Teigen's cardamom coffee buns, a twist on the classic cinnamon roll.
Whoa!
Very different.
Yes.
It's upside down.
It's upside down?
Yeah.
What? There's something in it that tastes almost like savory.
There's cardamom.
Cardamom.
Yes.
The fact that it's cardamom instead of cinnamon is really interesting. It definitely makes them taste really unique. I can imagine eating this one and being really satisfied having it with a cup of coffee, more so than the first one.
Well, I'm gonna make the last one.
All right.
And we'll see who wins.
Just gonna have one more.
You are eating so much kind of sugar coma.
This is a huge bite.
And last up, we've got Snoop Dogg. In a small saucepan, he combines milk with a little bit of water and heats this for 2 to 3 minutes, or until warm to the touch. Transfer the liquid to a large bowl and spread instant yeast on top. Then you'll add 1 egg, sugar, and some butter, and stir that together. I found stirring with a spatula left a lot of clumps, so I switched to a whisk instead. Then you'll add flour and salt and mix together until a dough starts to form. Transfer this to a stand mixer and attach a dough hook. Beat this on medium speed for about 6 to 7 minutes. Or he suggests you can knead it by hand for 8 minutes. Then you're gonna transfer the dough into a medium greased bowl. I had to shape the dough with my hands into a ball because it didn't really form one in the stand mixer. Then you're gonna let this sit for about an hour to an hour and a half until it doubles in size. Next, we'll make the filling. Combine brown sugar and some cinnamon. And then we'll make his glaze. Combine confectioner's sugar, heavy cream, and my favorite, a little bit of bourbon. Mix this together until there's no clumps. When the dough's ready, transfer it to a lightly floured surface and roll it out into a 16 by 18 inch rectangle. This next step, Snoop does a little differently from the others. He has you brush the dough with melted butter and then sprinkle on the cinnamon sugar, instead of mixing the butter into the filling. Then, starting from the longer side, roll the dough into a tight log. When you get to the end, brush the edges with a little bit of water to seal the roll. I found this was actually necessary because the dough is very dry. Then you'll cut the log into 12 even slices. Transfer to a buttered 9 by 13 baking dish and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. And make sure to rotate the dish halfway through so all of the rolls bake evenly. Once the rolls are baked, remove them from the oven and drizzle the bourbon glaze over them while they're still warm. And there you have it, Snoop Dogg cinnamon rolls with a bourbon glaze.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow!
Wow, you're very impressed with this one.
I am. This one's like the most beautiful one. The cakiness of it is really good.
It's definitely cakey. It's definitely drier, and it's almost biscuity.
It is almost biscuity. It's
almost more like a biscuit.
I do like it a lot. I thought I would actually like it the least, but now it's close. I feel like
you don't know.
It's really hard between all three.
Should we get all three back out
here? Let's get all three out here.
Let's get all three back out here.
Let's get all three so I can keep eating. I'm just gonna take one last quick bite. The one that rolled me over with its fabulousness was number 1.
Woo! That was Christina Tosi.
Oh, okay.
She is the dessert queen, I would say.
Yes, that makes sense.
I'm so tired.
Woo! I love you.
I love you too. Mwah! That's a wrap.
That's a wrap on rolls.
That's a roll.